The old man sat alone in his cabin. It was the middle of winter, and the only sounds that could be heard were the wind howling outside and the crackling fire. Suddenly, he heard a knock at the door. Startled, he went to check who could possibly be visiting him in such terrible weather. He opened the door and saw a young girl standing there, soaked to the bone. Without hesitation, the old man immediately invited her in, took off her wet clothes, and wrapped her in a blanket. The girl was very grateful for his kindness. But when the old man offered her some food and drink, she refused and said that she needed to leave. However, the old man insisted that she stay until morning, so she would not have to walk back in the dark. Reluctantly, she agreed. The night wore on. The old man kept an eye on the girl to make sure she was all right. He knew that she was probably just out walking when she got caught in the rain and decided to seek shelter in his cabin. Surely her parents would be worried sick about her. But despite his concerns, the girl seemed unfazed by the situation. She kept thanking the old man for his hospitality and told him that she had a lot of fun staying at his cabin. In fact, she enjoyed it so much that when morning finally arrived, she didn't want to leave. But the old man insisted that she go home before her parents started looking for her. He knew that they must be very worried about her, and he wanted her to be able to tell them about how kind he was when they found her. He also gave her some food and water to take with her. But when the girl turned to leave, the old man noticed something strange. There was no path behind her. She had walked through the forest without leaving any footprints in the snow. This made the old man very suspicious, because he had lived in the forest all his life, and he knew that it was impossible to walk through deep snow without leaving footprints behind. Was this girl a witch or some other kind of magical creature? Or was she trying to put a curse on him by coming to his house in the middle of the night? The old man's mind raced with all sorts of thoughts as he watched the girl disappear into the trees. He had never seen anyone like her before. And although she had been polite and well-mannered, he couldn't help but feel uneasy about her visit. Had he made a mistake by letting her stay in his cabin? Would he regret not sending her away? As the days passed, the old man couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. He tried to convince himself that it was just his imagination, but he couldn't stop thinking about the mysterious girl and her strange behavior. He started to feel more and more unsettled in his own home, and he began to wonder if he should have sent her away. He had never experienced such a strange feeling before, and he didn't know what to do about it. One day, the old man decided that he could untake the uncertainty any longer, and he went into the forest to look for the girl's house. He thought that maybe if he could find her parents, they could explain their daughter's strange behavior. After searching for a long time, he finally came across a small cottage that looked like it had been abandoned for years. The roof was caved in and the walls were covered in moss. But as he approached the house, he heard a voice calling out to him. Startled, he hid behind a nearby tree and peeked around it. To his surprise, he saw the same girl from before standing in front of the house. But she wasn't alone. Behind her were two men and a woman who looked like they were her parents. The old man was shocked to see that the girl had returned to the same house that he had visited before. What was she doing here? And why did her parents seem so surprised to see him? The old man couldn't understand it. As he continued to watch from afar, he saw the girl running towards him and calling out to him. When she got closer, he could see that she was crying. "Please help me," she cried. "My parents, they don't love me. They don't want me here." The old man was taken aback by her words. He had thought that she was just being polite when she thanked him for his hospitality. But now he realized that she was genuinely grateful for his help. "Why don't they want you?" he asked softly. The girl shook her head, tears streaming down her face. "I don't know," she whispered. "They just say that I'm not theirs and that I should go away." The old man felt a surge of sympathy for the girl. He couldn't imagine how difficult it must be for her to live without the love of her family. He knew that he couldn't let her go back to that house, not after seeing the way her parents treated her. Without saying a word, he reached out and took her hand, leading her away from the cottage. The girl looked back at her parents, then turned to the old man, her eyes filled with gratitude. "Thank you," she whispered. "You're welcome," he replied. "Come with me. You can stay at my house." The girl nodded and followed him into the forest. As they walked, the old man thought about what he was going to do. He couldn't bear the thought of the girl going back to that house, but he didn't know what else to do. Suddenly, he had an idea. He would take the girl to his friend's house. His friend was an old woman who lived deep in the forest, and she was known for her kindness and wisdom. Maybe she could help the girl find her real parents, or maybe she could offer her a place to stay. When they finally reached the old woman's house, the girl hesitated for a moment. "Are you sure?" she asked. "You won't mind if I stay?" The old man smiled reassuringly. "Of course not," he said. "She'll be happy to have you." He knocked on the door, and a moment later, the old woman opened it. When she saw the girl, she gasped in surprise. "My goodness, where did you come from?" she asked. The old man explained the situation to the woman, and she immediately invited the girl inside. "You can stay here as long as you like," she said warmly. "And we'll figure out what to do next." The girl's face lit up with gratitude. "Thank you," she whispered. In the weeks that followed, the old woman and the old man tried everything they could to find the girl's real parents. They put up posters in nearby villages, asked passing travelers if they had seen her, and even contacted the local church to see if anyone had reported her missing. But no matter what they did, there was no sign of the girl's parents. The old woman and the old man were baffled. They could understand why no one was looking for the girl, or why no one had seen her since she was a baby. They began to think that the girl might have been abandoned at birth, and that her real parents did want her back. The girl, however, refused to give up hope. Every night before bed, she would pray that her parents would come for her and take her home. And her prayers were finally answered one day, when a young couple came to the old woman's house, asking for her. "We saw your poster," the woman said, "and we think we might be the parents you're looking for." The girl's eyes widened in disbelief. "You are," she whispered. "You're really my parents." The woman and the man embraced the girl, tears streaming down their faces. "We've been looking for you everywhere," the woman said. "We never gave up hope that we'd find you." The girl threw her arms around her parents, feeling more loved than she ever had before. She was finally home. The old woman and the old man watched as the family walked away, their hearts full of joy. They had never been able to find the girl's parents, but they knew that she was in good hands now. They had done all they could, and that was enough. As they turned to go back inside, they couldn't help but smile. They had helped a lost child find her way home, and that was a good feeling.